going to take a look at a song that I thought I did a lesson on many, many years ago, and I totally spaced on it. This is, of course, the first Crosby, Stills and Nash album, You Don't Have to Cry. Very simple tune of Stills with incredible harmony, and it was really the song that brought the band together when Nash heard Crosby and Stills working on this tune at a house party in Laurel Canyon, and decided to add his part to it, and magic. The rest is history. What we're going to talk about, it's in double drop D tuning. And although many times Stills plays it in just drop D, which means he fingers the chords a little bit differently, and on many of the live recordings, it's a whole step low. So if you play along with the Woodstock version or many of the other live ones, they do it a whole step lower, which means the whole guitar is tuned down a whole step, then the two outside strings are tuned down all the way down to C. Now, we're not doing that. So we got a D here and a D here, which means we're going to finger the chords slightly differently and easier than we would normally. Our D chord is going to just have two notes on it, the D on the third fret of the second string and the A on the second fret of the G string. And we make that a D7 by putting the C in, and that's what we hear in the beginning. We hear him hammer on this D7 chord from a bunch of open notes. He also uses a couple of unusual things in his chords where the F chord keeps the G string open and the C chord keeps the D string open. So both chords have notes that would be the second note of the scale as one of the notes in the chord. So that's why this has a little bit of an unbalanced kind of sound. Then he plays some really interesting chords working down the neck when they get into the last little part of the chorus. And so you can do this as a standard finger-picking song, just keeping an alternating bass going. But you can also then turn it into a strumming song. Now here I'm doing a little, what I might call a country type strum, but I'm hitting a bass note and then strumming with my fingers. So we're going to do this whole hybrid thing. And on the studio recording, there are at least 3 different guitar parts, one mostly playing the chords and 2 playing fills in different channels, and then a bass part. You might have heard something I played a minute ago. I kind of worked in a little bit of the fills that we hear in there. We hear one of the second guitars play harmonics at the 7th fret frequently, which are notes just out of a D chord now. And then we hear these quick little 8th note runs. There we go. So, coming up, a lesson on some of the different things you can do in You Don't Have to Cry.